Bethesda have just released Starfield's latest update. Now, unfortunately, this one is only for PC players at the moment because it is just a beta. When this does go to full launch towards the end of November, it will be available for all players. Now, if you do want to play this on Steam, your saves will count, so you can just carry on as normal, but if you try and switch back and play the normal game, your saves will not work until the game finally updates towards the end of the month. Now, if you're a fan of Starfield, subscribe to the channel and stick around for much more, because that is what we do here. Now, let's have a look at 1.8.83. This is a relatively big one, but unfortunately not a massive amount of stuff in it. There's a few things that have been changed and adjusted, and loads of bug fixes, which is great, and a whole host of quest fixes as well. So that does make things relatively good. It is a shame that we're not going to see this fully up until the end of the month. They have said that this one will be ready by the end of the month. So it may be sooner, but I highly doubt that. I do think that this will come towards the end of November, and it will be the last update that we see each year, which I was hoping to see a few more updates, but unfortunately not. Anywho, let's jump in and see what the team have to say. So Starfield's Steam beta is now available for you to opt in. The beta will allow Steam PC players to try out the next update for Starfield in a separate beta version of the game before it goes live for all later this month. Now, the main things that have been added to this update are DLSS support and Let Them Eat. Now, if you don't know what Let Them Eat is, it is a very popular request the players have had, and that is the ability to take in food and drink items as you find them in the environment, and you can enjoy them immediately rather than adding them straight to your inventory. So if you're running around and you just want to eat a few things rather than having them build up space in your inventory, you can do that now on the fly. But the main thing for this update is NVIDIA DLSS support. Now, this update introduces NVIDIA DLSS support for PC players. Compatible NVIDIA graphics cards can now use the DLSS Super Resolution, Deep Learning Anti-DLLA, NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency, and DLSS Frame Generation. While the frame generation is active, VSync will need to be toggled off to see any benefits, and they're working to automatically adjust this in a future update. Now, very excited for this one. I have an AMD card, but my friend has an NVIDIA card, so I'd like to see the difference with that on. Now, NVIDIA is the majority when it comes to gaming PCs. Don't know why. I like AMD. I think AMD is great. I did originally have an NVIDIA card when I first started, and it was good. You know, I'm not a computer buff or nerd, so I don't really know too much about them. Both do the job, I think. So why they didn't introduce NVIDIA DLSS support in the first place, because the majority, as I say, are NVIDIA cards in many gaming PCs. It is around about 80% NVIDIA, so it's a big chunk. Why they went for the AMD, there must have been a hell of a lot of money changing hands to keep that there. Now, for fixes and improvements, there's loads. For performance and stability, they've addressed a number of memory-related issues and leaks, and added some GPU performance optimizations which will be much more impactful on higher-end cards. Improved rendering, threading model, and CPU usage mostly on higher-end systems. Various stability and performance improvements. Now, my CPU usage has definitely gone down. I've 100% noticed a difference in that. Beforehand, my CPU, well, my PC was quite loud. The fans were kicking up quite a bit. Now it doesn't seem to do it as much, which is good. Now, for gameplay, as you say, we've added the ability to eat into the world, and they've also adjusted things like stealth to be a little bit more forgiving, which, I don't know, I thought stealth was relatively good. I didn't really see too many issues with stealth in the first place. And it definitely worked. They've also fixed a lot of issues when it comes to NPCs and players, where NPCs' heads could be permanently cloaked. NPCs could not be seen wearing clothes, which I've seen some of those ones. It is quite funny. The whole of the UC is just wandering around protecting places in their pants, which, I mean, why not? Unless you're on a cold planet, then you need to wrap that shit up. They fixed issues with progress skill challenges, issues which could temporarily prevent opening the inventory or saving after entering the Unity, and loads of other random bits when it comes to fixes. Now, when it comes to quests, there is loads of stuff on there. They fixed the All That Money Can Buy quest, Blast Zone, Echoes of the Past, Eye of the Storm, Grunt Work, No Sudden Moves, Operation Starseed, Sabotage, Short-Sighted, and The Heat of Mars, which is definitely the biggest number of mission fixes that we've seen so far. Hopefully they continue on this route of fixing and improving things. The latest update did cause a bit of an issue when it comes to crashing and dodgy performance. I did come across quite a few bugs, which was a shame. I know there was some big ones when it comes to quest lines, so hopefully these ones have all been fixed. Now, the downside to this update is there's not really too much more in the way of new features, other than eating and adjusting the stealth a little bit, but it would have been nice to see some new things coming into the game. It feels like there's a lot there that could be played with. As we've already seen recently, the actual framework to build star stations is in the game. Why they don't do something with that, I do have a feeling that will be a future DLC, because that is definitely prized content and people will absolutely love that. But it was something that was already in the game, and for some reason they just didn't finish it. Maybe they ran out of time, but people have found a few random things that are already in the game that just didn't actually get fully put through. I think maybe the game could have had another delay and come out with a lot more features, especially ones that the player wants. Because, as I've mentioned in previous videos, especially when it comes to the storyline, in terms of previous Bethesda titles, it definitely isn't up there. Whereas the actual gameplay, the overall and the exploration, I love it. I think the game is brilliant. But yeah, the storyline is definitely lacking, and it would have been great to see some form of vehicle, something that we could traverse around a little bit, even just a little sort of rover buggy thing. And loads of other random little features along, like more weapons, more weapon variety, because there's not really too much there yet. And that's a shame. It feels like once you've got a certain set of weapons, that is it, you're unstoppable. I think a higher difficulty mode would have also been good, because regardless of weapons, I think general ground combat is very easy. I've not died many times, nowhere near as many times as I did in games like Fallout or Skyrim. So I think having a bit more challenging general combat would have been nice. The space combat is good. I enjoy the space combat a hell of a lot. But I've been seeing a game called Hyperspace recently, and that is itching my space combat itch right now. That looks absolutely insane. I'm going to be doing a video on that over the next couple of days, so definitely stay tuned for that one. For now, though, we're going to wrap that one up there. It is just a small update. I will bring another video out when it comes to the full update, going over absolutely everything. For now, this is just a general overhaul, because unfortunately it is mainly for PC players. So the Xbox community is missing out on that one, which is a shame. Hopefully, though, they do bring it out relatively quick, and we do get to see another update before the year's out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, though. For now, though, I've been Cowboy, you've been awesome. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.